Our next person to be awarded the DAA for this year is Mr. Ashok Reddy, who is promoter, MD, and CEO of TeamLease Services Ltd. A postgraduate pass out in 1995. Ashok, the TeamLease today it employs more than 3 lakh associates with 3,500 clients across 60 plus industries in 20 Indian states. It is India's leading providers of human resource services in the organized sector, and a company that started with 4 employees has today provided employment to over 2 million individuals. So it's an amazing story of impact. Ashok and TeamLease are actively engaged with policymakers and government on various aspects of labor reform and policy changes to promote ease of doing business. He has been working with the Ministry of Labor and Employment for the last 8 years for industry implementation of various labor codes passed by the Parliament. He founded the Indian Staffing Federation in 2013 as an industry body for the sector in the country. ISF today represents the interest of about 18.5 million Indian workers. On a personal note, he engages with various old age homes and orphanages for supporting them financially. He is also a founding circle member of the Museum of Art and Photography in Bangalore. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Ashok Reddy.
Director, faculty, professors, alumni, my batchmates, and the batch of 2025. Good evening, and it's really an honor for me to be here. You know, it was 30 years back that I was on that side, joining IIM and looking forward to what the Institute had to offer to me. You know, fast forward 30 years, I'm here receiving the DAA and seriously humbled and proud of the fact. It was an amazing, amazing 2 years of my life at the Institute. What is not to like? You know, Bangalore is a great city, the campus is amazing, you have great professors, you have great courses to select, you have an amazing peer group to be working with. And as was told to us when we were joining, there would be constellations that would form, you know, and we did have the constellations form around the girls, you know, where the boys were running around the 20 plus girls that we had. And I think the aspect of bonds, friendships, all of that kind of played out over the 2 years. And I think we were a batch of 200 people joining at that point, going through the trials and tribulations of 20-year-olds. You know, and it was an amazing experience that we went out of the campus with, the memories, the friends, the relationships, and the people, as was called out earlier, you might not be in touch with, but can always feel free to pick up the thread from when you left off. You know, and it is something that I think is exceptional to the Institute, and I do believe that being from an IIM and being from IIM Bangalore gives you that opening when you get into the corporate world or get into the entrepreneurial journey, whatever your choice is going to be. When we joined, my first year fees were highly subsidized by the government, you know, before it started getting rationalized thereon. But I think life is exacting and has poetic justice, and I have paid my tuition dues with compound interest thereon in my entrepreneurial journey thereafter. You know, it happens, but I'm here living to tell the tale. You know, I think soon after the MBA, I got into investment banking and started my entrepreneurial journey 3 years after. Effectively, believed India was a very large market. India was going to be consistently warm for a very long period of time. And for somebody who has the patience and persistence, India would be a very large opportunity to address. And that is really where we focused our business on. So 2 ventures and 25 years later, I'm here. Effectively, I think in TeamLease, we found what we call the entrepreneurial triad. It's been really fun because we are running a larger company every year than we have done the previous year. It's been a lot of learning and a lot of new muscle building that we have had to do on a continuous basis. It's a profitable business, low margin, but I think it is a high volume business that effectively plays to the demographic opportunity that India is. And we genuinely believe it's good for the country. Effectively, we have touched, through our employment and employability business, more than 3 million lives where we've given jobs to people. I think effectively being able to create a company and a cause has been the driver for us. Postmortem's reflections have a certainty that prescriptions don't. A lot of what I know today or can talk about today, I clearly did not know when I was in MBA school or had just started my career. It has been a journey that has taught me a lot, and some of the learnings that I carry are more from the entrepreneurial side. And it is around, building a baby, creating a baby that has a growth DNA, which effectively is about nurturing to growth and opportunity. There is no one entrepreneurial trait, that somebody is cut out to be an entrepreneur and so on. Over the years, I've seen all kinds of people, who have been effectively entrepreneurs. And it always takes more time and money to do the business than what you initially envisage it to be. It's a lot of hypothesis testing. Did we know 20 years back that we would be here in the business at that point in time? No. We've said we wanted to address the opportunity in India. We said we wanted to put India to work. But there have been many paths that we have taken along the way. We've not been confused, but we've been wrong many times. It's about building a team. The aspect that's constantly called out about being able to work with people who are different from you, who aren't always and ideally exactly like you, is an important aspect of focus. And it's about aligning for the future. At least in South India, we have the dessert in the last. And I think the aspect of the realization and play out that, the aspect of rewards will come in the end and you have to work hard for it is an important variable. A lot of the learning for me has been really from the decisions taken to work on my own with people who believed in the ideas and the opportunities that existed. The worst case scenario, as we saw it, was the learnings from a failed venture that we could take and use somewhere else. And I think IIM gave me that foundation and confidence to effectively translate the desire to be an entrepreneur into action. While I've always believed classroom learning has been important, I think there is a lot to learn outside of the classroom. It's important to focus on the soft skills that will hold you in good stead to the future. Things like being self-confident, being able to question the status quo, being able to work with people, being able to forge relationships, things that have been called out earlier. Integrity, is an important variable. And I think focusing on all of that over the next 2 years for you is really what would play an important role to chart your careers into the future. I think I was very lucky to get into IIM, and probably even luckier I got out of IIM. I wasn't the top of the class anywhere on my CGPA, but I think put in a lot of hard work to be focused on academic and the non-academic areas. I'm confident enough to say that you have a great 2 years ahead of you, and you should totally enjoy that journey before you embark on your careers thereafter. In closing, we've built TeamLease on an idea and the hard work of a lot of people who are working passionately with the objective of putting India to work. I merely seriously represent them to this accolade and recognition that will effectively and truly be treasured and valued to the possibilities of what can be done and achieved in India. And it is more important for me that this comes from my alma mater. Thank you, and all the best.